Here's a cold hard truth. If you've written amazing content or created an amazing video, doesn't matter. No one's going to see it. If your headline, title, or hook sucks. Your title, headline, and hook are the most important element to grab someone's attention and bring them in. In this episode, we are going to go over how to hook attention with magnetic headlines. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Liquid Digital Marketing Podcast. Today we are talking about hooking attention with magnetic headlines. Why should you even care about this? Well, I will tell you. 8 out of 10 people will read your headline. 2 out of those 10 people will actually consume your content. It is the headline's job to draw them in. If you have amazing content, no one will ever read it if your headline or your hook doesn't draw them in. How do you create an amazing, magnetic, attention-grabbing headline or hook? Well, let's jump right into that. So first off, let's talk about where these things live. Where are these things that you need to craft? Well, one obvious one is a blog post, right? So the title of your blog post, that is a title and a headline. And breaking down titles, headlines, and hooks, titles and headlines are somewhat the same thing, right? A headline is kind of like a headline of a paper or something. A title is kind of like the title of your blog post. So they're kind of the same thing, just different places call them different things. Headlines and titles are pretty much the same thing. When we talk about a hook, it is more about like a video, right? It's that first 3 to 5 seconds that hooks them in to want them to consume more. And that also could be for written material as well. But in this purposes, when we say hooks, we're kind of talking about the video hook, right? Because people aren't reading the title when they're watching your video. They're listening to the first 3 seconds of it. And it's usually not a written title, it's a spoken hook. All right, so clearing that up. So you find them on blogs, also on your website in your sections, right? So people don't read your website. They don't just go to it and read it like it's a book and go to one page to the next page to the next page. They skim it. They actually start at the top and scroll down and they read the headline, read the headline, read the headline. They'll go through the whole page just reading all of the headlines and stopping where they feel like they want to find out more. That's website sections. And then also in your videos, like we just talked, your hooks, your first 3 to 5 seconds, that's the hook that draws them in. And then another place you'll find it is in your ads. So the title in your ads, the first 3 seconds, the video that you use, all of the components take place in an ad. All right, so let's talk about the elements that make up a magnetic headline. Number 1, your headline should be concise. So you want to try to keep your headline to a maximum of around 6 words. Let's just set the limit to 6 words. So obviously it can go over, it can be shorter, but try to get it to 6 words. If it's too long, it's too much to consume. If it's too short, it's maybe too vague. So which brings us to the next item is be specific. Avoid being too vague. So for example, the title, Why Cranberries Are Good, versus, which is a vague one, versus something more specific like 7 ways cranberries improve your immune system. Right? So the same title, it's just more descriptive. It's more specific. So I'm much more likely to click on 7 ways cranberries improve your immune system versus on why cranberries are good. Okay, the third item is use numbers. Numbers are good. Numbers serve a few purposes. 1, it shows us that the reader has some promise of a tangible takeaway, and they are just eye-catching. So use numbers where you can. The next one is use strong adjectives to evoke emotion. Now that emotion can be good and that emotion can be bad, whatever, just an emotion. You want to try to use strong adjectives, not like fun and good. You want to use like bigger, stronger words that are going to evoke more. of an emotion than just bland words. The next item is to create urgency with phrases like "you can't live without," right? So 5 ways to cook your food you can't live without. I mean, maybe that was a stupid title, but you get it, right? You adding something like "you can't live without," or some type of an urgency like, oh my gosh, I need this urgency. Now, don't create false urgency. It has to be kind of real urgency, but something like that, where it's not too specific, but it's something you can't live without, right? Okay. The next item is add a takeaway. So a takeaway, what are they gonna get? 6 nutrition tips to blank, right? So what is it that they're taking away? 6 nutrition tips to lose weight faster. So add that takeaway in there. And the next item is to call out your reader. I always recommend trying to use the word "you." So you're speaking directly to that person, or even more specific, like something like Phoenix residents. This is the number 1 or the top 3 ways Phoenix residents can save on blah, 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 blah. So call out your user specifically, and it's going to just draw them in like you're speaking to them. Let's talk a little bit about the hooks, right? So in your videos, it's that first 3 seconds of the hook that should draw people in. And very similar to the headlines, what makes a good magnetic headline makes a good magnetic hook. So all of these things, creating urgencies, using numbers, calling out the reader, using the word "you," being specific, and being not too long and not too short. So these are the top things that you can do to make your hooks better. What are they going to get out of it? Creating kind of like an open loop. Here's the top mistake people make when blah, 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 blah. So that is really the hook of a video, is that first 3 seconds. Don't start your videos off with "hey guys," or "hey ladies," or "how is everyone doing today?" Blah, 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 blah. That's not going to work. First 3 seconds, just get right into it. The top ways people succeed in la 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 la. So go create your hooks using this method. It's going to make a huge difference in your video watch time, especially when it comes to TikToks and Reels. People have short attention spans. You need to grab them in the first 3 seconds of your video. Get right into it. When you're creating your blog posts, when you're creating titles for those sections, make them attention grabbing and separate out your content with these titles, and make your blog title something that people want to jump into and like dive in and learn more. All it's supposed to do is grab their attention and make them want to learn more and read more. That's what the title's purpose is. All right, so that's how you can go about creating magnetic headlines. I hope you found this information valuable. If you did, please leave us a review. We would love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.